Hey, YC Startup School is officially tomorrow. Really, really excited. Just as a precursor to this video, though, I just want to say I'm loving San Francisco. The first day wasn't the best, but ever since then, it's just been amazing. Whether it be the locations I'm going to or the people, I think they blend really well. Even the transportation, I love the trains in San Francisco. But really, just to go back to the people, I feel like I don't know. To me, it's like I think right now where technology is, where science is, where computing, programming is, it's becoming magic almost. And maybe it's maybe I've abstracted too far, but it's becoming magic. And I think coming to SF, it feels like people who are playing with that magic. It feels like people who can know how to like cast spells and whatnot. I think it's really fun just to have those conversations. Because very often, just to be blunt, I think in Maryland, it's easy not to have those conversations. It's easy to just talk about other stuff. But when you're in SF, it just feels like oh the energy. It feels like it would be weird if you didn't like tap into that. Um, and I think that's nice. I think there's something else also really interesting. Like I could go into this whole thought about like self perception. I'm just gonna keep it short. I think I often spell this idea in my head that I'm not good at socializing. And I just like, oh, like sometimes when I'm in a social situation, I think of a friend of mine who would do better in this situation. Like, oh, maybe I should contact him and give him my role or something like that. But very often I do find myself doing really well. I think the biggest thing I've learned is really just on one foundation, always God. And then once you have that, it's like you no longer just look for like validation out there. So I think that helps a lot. But also being a really good listener and really trying to bring that information, like that's interesting information, from people is a really good thing. Um, I think I really like, especially like I met some people at my last conference I went to at ULRI Research Symposium and who did this really well. I think it's not just listening, but it's also listening for what you want to hear. And like, and let me rephrase that. It's actually being curious. I think when you're curious, it no longer becomes like, oh, what's your favorite color? Oh, do you like dogs? Oh, do you like apples? Like it no longer becomes that. It becomes, oh, really? Like, what do you think about this gradient? And it's like, it becomes interesting when you have curiosity. It sparks new questions that a person didn't think about, but it now, since they didn't think about it, it sparks new thoughts in their head, and that sparks a conversation, right? Versus when you're not curious, you just go with the default thing on what's the tip of your tongue, right? And very often that can just lead to bland conversations. But I think when you actually give yourself leeway, I also think just like that, that was the reason I said the golf thing first. I know someone who's watching this in the future is like, you always say this, but I do think once you have that confidence, it's much easier to explore different questions and not really worry. Like, because sometimes I do mess up, sometimes I stutter, sometimes I say the less nice thing or the less the not ideal thing in a situation. And then it's like okay, but then does that define who I am? No, it's just like you just move on. So that's been awesome. Really loving the interactions, really loving the people. On the next note, though, what's coming after this? Startup school is tomorrow. I'm looking at my schedule. I've been taking some peeks here, and I don't want to spoil the surprise for myself. But this kicks off with some breakfast. That's like around I want to say like 8:30. I'm gonna try and wake up really early and just head out to the conference. I'm hearing that people are going to get there early, and then try to go sit in the front because you're gonna see how you're gonna have panels from like people like Jensen Wong and Gary Tan. My thought process there is like I want to do the same thing. I may do the same thing, but now I'm thinking about it. The breakfast is before the actual kickoff. And I think what's going to likely happen is that it's gonna be sectioned off. Like the way these conferences usually work, it's like you can't just like bum rush this. I don't know if that's. Let me see what that means before before I say something. Yeah, bum rush the seats. You have to wait out and there's like more regulations. I don't know if getting up at like 5 a.m. to go is the best idea because really this is gonna be a lot of socializing. I think being at the tip of your game is just a good idea in general. But I may change my philosophy in a couple of seconds or minutes. So who knows? After that though, there's gonna be a session with Jesse Wong. So that's gonna be awesome. Gary Tan, I really think what he's going to talk about is going to be open source models and open way and talk about the innovation and talk about how this is the age of AI, maybe do some stuff with physics, because of physical AI, probably do a good bit about that and open way models. Cause I think right now there's a whole big controversy with Chinese models and open way and like the safety of them. I think it's really interesting just to do a quick tidbit. Right now, what we're saying, the way I'm seeing the political landscape is that Democrats and Republicans really agree on one thing. They don't like AI. I have my opinions as to why they don't like AI. I think just inefficient in general. They just have very bad grasp of like learning new things. But they don't like AI, and the frontier labs would rather open weights not be a thing, right? I know some omen that says some stuff like, oh, he's pro open weights. And who knows, maybe he is. But I think if in terms of competition, it's not the best for them. But the other companies who want to have their own models that they can utilize without giving away their knowledge to these frontier labs, they want open weights. So it's going to be a big battle. I think with the current political landscape, it's really interesting because all of these other companies, those are the legacy companies. As far as legacy can count tech, those are like the legacy companies. So who has more weight in this conversation? I really don't think Democrat and Republicans really have that much weight, if I'm being honest. I think it's really just like just say stuff, but I could really wrong. I think right now it's going to be much more of the executive cabinet and see how Trump leans in terms of the issue. So we'll see how that goes. But anyways, past the Jensen Wong thing, there's gonna be a conversation with Boris Cherny, and Boris Cherny is the head of Claude Code at Anthropic. Really excited. This is how their new Opens 5 model. Apparently, it's really good, so I'm excited to try that out. This was gonna be the managing partner, Dynus Hu. I really wonder what they're gonna talk about. I think it's gonna be talk about how to use Claude Code to your advantage and just like these agents to your advantage. I wonder if they're gonna go token maxing or if they're gonna step back and say, hey guys, maybe not token max, but like do a mixture. Because I do think as much as it's magic, you have to train your muscles. You have to train your muscles. I think that's the way to be the best magician you can be. Train your muscles. So who knows how they go about it. There's also gonna be a launch. I think with the launch, my strategy right now has just been like I'm trying to find the conversation about physical AI. I've been very fortunate to have like some not the best conversations here and there, but like I've had some really good conversations. I think what I'm trying to do now is like trying to do like some Toph type, like Toph from Avatar: The Last Airbender, where it's like I'm just like up, it's like I'm feeling the whole location and seeing what's leaning towards physical AI. A lot of people here, rightfully so, are more so in agentic work or B2B and all that. And it's like, oh, that's cool, but like I really want to talk to more physical AI people. I think beyond just talking to physical AI people, I have to take it the next step because I feel like I've just been quick with like, oh yeah, I work in spatial intelligence world models, especially geometry, but like really digging into what they think about like even like how do you learn physics. So it's like it's a very interesting problem, right? So learning more there and just about the market and people's thoughts. It's something I should really do. So I'll probably do that during the lunch. Same strat as Toph, like just feel out the area and see who's who. After that, I'm just only going to do day one. I'm not going to do day two just because this is becoming a long video. After that, though, there's the round one arena breakout session with Jeff Dean, Google DeepMind chief scientist. Very, very excited. I don't know what to even say about that. Just very excited. Google DeepMind is always a company that excites me, or a lab that excites me. They don't have the best models in terms of like large language models, but they have just like anything else. DeepMind, like they have the audio, they have the image, and they have like that's the thing. I think Google DeepMind, while it's not the fastest runner, it's still a consistent and steady runner. It's like it just has strong foundations. I think wherever AI goes, they can go there very quickly. Whereas like with companies like Anthropic, that requires an acquisition. But moving on, he's probably going to talk about research. So that's going to be interesting to hear. Then there's going to be an arena breakout with Dmitry Dolgov, co-CEO of Waymo, so more Google stuff. I love that. And this is also kind of personalized, so it's like not everyone's going to be in the same session. So try to make the best use of that. Then there's going to be an AI for construction one. Really, really excited to see what that's like. I don't think the world models I'm working on are at the level yet, but I think when they do get there, there's a lot of cool applications. So going to be really, I'd love to talk to people there. And then after that, day one concludes, and then there's going to be after party. So I'm going to stay away from the hackathons. I was tempted because I was like, oh, really good opportunities, really good builders. But I just think the way I do hackathons is that I'm very, very locked into my own solo world. And I don't really treat it as a mixer. I just don't think I can because it's like, if I go there on the social pretense of like I want to meet more people and the people are there it's like to win, I'm going for like, bro, like, oh, are you saying you're more locked into me? Are you saying you're a better builder? Are you saying like your idea beats my idea and all that? It's like in my head, I just can't have that. So probably not hackathon. I just do a mixer. I'm really loving the mixer, so I think I'll just stick with that. But yeah, that's day one. Very, very excited. I think just to make the best use of it. I think the way my goal, like I said, is to really make more friends. But now I think I have to take it to the next notch and start trying to recruit people into Star Labs. This is just what I'll close off with. But when I was thinking about Star Labs, my big thought in my head is Star Labs, as it is right now, cannot fully compete with groups like Google DeepMind for OpenAI and other groups when it comes to building stuff like world models. The thought process that they have more capital, they have more experts, they have all that, and they can do breadth and depth. So I was thinking maybe I could use another approach instead of treating it as if we're going one-to-one in terms of the team model. What if we treat Star Labs as more building a village, right? So we can take maybe 20, 70, 50, 60, 75 present all of these different percentages of people's work into Star Labs, and through that, maybe we can pursue the world model better. So it then becomes an organizational problem. But I also do think I was looking at another stuff. I think it was Etch. I think really with this thing with Star Labs, time is something I just have to accept. It doesn't mean I have to be slow, but it is something where I have to accept that the goal cannot be deep mind tomorrow, right? The goal should even be deep mind. The goal should really just be pursuing this world model. I think you just have to accept time as a means to your location. I think don't to be in a rush to just like me. If I do the village approach, it becomes like, okay, how long do you take to build the village approach? And it becomes a whole mess. But I do think it's something I'm interested in and just like taking inspiration from in the future. And I think the ideas will make more sense in the future as well. But yeah, so as I take it to the next notch, I really need to start bringing people into Star Lab, start recruiting people. So that's gonna be really cool to see. Besides that, though, I have nothing else to say. So have a great day.